You want to know if you're fertile because you're currently trying to get pregnant. So what are the signs that your body is actually fertile and this is going to work? One of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to trying to get pregnant and ovulation is that you ovulate on day 14 of your cycle, because this is what the period tracking apps, the cycle tracking apps tell us. Day 14 is ovulation. But the problem with that is it is assuming your cycle is 28 days, which isn't the case for every single woman. And even though day 14 is the middle of your cycle, it still doesn't mean you will actually ovulate on that particular day, because so much impacts your ovulation. So you could have a 28-day cycle and ovulate a little bit earlier or a little bit later than day 14. So this is where it's really important to know what it actually looks like in your body. What are the signs that you are fertile, that you're about to ovulate? So first and foremost, before I get into that, ovulation is just one day. It is not several days. You have a fertile window, which is 5, maximum 6 days, where you are fertile and can get pregnant. But the actual event of ovulation is about one day. That egg is ovulated and lives for 12 to 24 hours, and that's it. What you need to know and understand is what it looks like in your body as ovulation is getting closer and closer. For many women, the biggest change is cervical mucus changes. So your vaginal discharge. It is moving from sort of a sticky to a lotion, kind of creamy-like texture, into what we call egg white cervical mucus. And basically you can think of it like raw egg whites, that sort of like stretchy, wet, slippery, clear. This is a sign that your body is getting closer to ovulation, and you'll probably see it in the few days leading up to, including the day of ovulation, because after ovulation has happened, then you're drier again right up until you menstruate. One of the next signs that you can see is testing your luteinizing hormone. So using ovulation predictor kits or LH test strips, where it is actually measuring the amount of luteinizing hormone. This is the hormone that comes from your brain to the ovaries that says it's time to ovulate. We're using that LH as an indicator that ovulation is getting closer, because a positive LH test means ovulation is 1 to 3 days away. Again, it doesn't mean ovulation happened. Around this time, you might also be noticing a change in your libido. It might be heightened a little bit because the body is getting ready for procreation. The other thing that you can track is your basal body temperature. I'm not going to get into it in this video, but it is a way to basically monitor your everyday temperature to find the time frame where ovulation happens, because there is a slight spike in our temperature after ovulation and it remains elevated. I have more on that linked in the description below. You can find it inside my Finding Your Fertile Window guide. But those are the signs you want to be looking for. Now, you could be seeing those signs. You could be seeing the cervical mucus changes. You could be seeing what looks like a positive LH test strip, but you may still not ovulate. This is why tracking your temperature is so important, but this is also why you need to zoom out and have a bigger picture approach when it comes to your fertility. We can't just rely on changes in cervical mucus, because they can point towards ovulation, but we still have to make sure we hit the fertile window and confirm that we did in fact ovulate. So this is where the Flourishing Fertility membership comes in. This is the space that I created, because when you have all this information and you don't really know how to apply it to you, right? We don't have a shortage of information in today's world. We need to know how to take all of that information and apply it to ourselves and our bodies. And that's what we do inside Flourishing Fertility. That is linked in the description for you as well, but it is a place to help you connect those dots. A quick recap: how to know if you are fertile. We want to be watching for changes in our cervical mucus. We want to be noticing shifts in our body, like a heightened sense of libido. Maybe some slight lower abdominal cramping is happening around that time frame. We can be tracking with LH test strips. Basal body temperature is how we can confirm. And then you want to make sure that when it is time to try, you are in your fertile window, which again, you can find more in my Finding Your Fertile Window guide, which is linked below. I will see you in the next one.